And the kids are back. They're back. They're back. They're back.
Back in town.
The boys
are
are
back.
back in town.
Can't go wrong with the 80s. That's 80s, right? I think that's.
I don't know.
It's a good time. It's always a good time to be alive because you're alive.
I don't even know what decade we're in right now.
The dumbest decade?
Oh,
Because
don't
it's
get
the
me
dumbest
started.
timeline?
Don't get me started. What's up, folks? If you haven't heard, I've been hosting a show called The Dumbest Timeline. New episodes come out on Fridays, and the video for it comes out on Mondays. And we do live in the dumbest timeline. If you are unsure of that, I would say just go listen to the first 3 episodes. The first 3 episodes already discuss how dumb the world is.
I cannot wait to be a guest on that show.
Yeah, man. I mean, the second episode with Miriam Khan was pretty fun because we were discussing these Republicans who, for some odd reason, decided to. And I went because the way the show works is I let people pick the subject they want to talk about.
Okay.
So I don't pick anything. They tell me a day before, and then I just jump in and discuss it with them. And I gotta say, I was thoroughly confused by the one that she picked, where it's like these politicians understood that kids were identifying as cats and that schools were providing them with litter boxes in class so that they could I guess have a movement in the dude. Honestly, when you start to discuss it,
sorry. So
yeah, these guys,
the politicians supported this.
No. The politicians went public with discussing it and like brought it to whatchamacallit, to the, I don't know, the mill, in the States they have the House and the thing and the whatchamacallit and the hoot and the what.
Yeah.
All
the
dumb
bureau, the Democratic Bureau, so to speak.
Whatever. They brought it forward to people to discuss as if it was a serious thing. And I was and like we're not defending it, but like complaining that the schools are going too far. These children. Oh, actually, I found the video. Hold on, I found the video. Let me see. Let's see if I can get this to play.
There is something going on.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just share the video. Actually, you know what? We don't even need to share. Do we need to share? Because
we could just hear it. I mean, unless he looks stupid doing it.
No, he just looks like a politician. So
schools, according to this, something called Furry. And I think it's spelled Furry. I looked it up on Google here. Oh, I gotta get back into my computer. It's described to me that we have kids in our schools that believe that they are animals. And they are identifying, I'm told, as animals. Identifying as animals. They think they're a cat. A cat. They put tails on and they demand that they have a litter box in the school. Has anybody else heard that?
Full on. This is full on a thing. This guy, hold on. He said it. Amendment is. He said it in the House.
But okay, so like
HE 4300 Early Childhood and E12 Education Supplemental Omnibus. So they were discussing this stuff in the House, and this politician, his name's not written on the video, unfortunately. But if you go watch the episode that I did with Miriam Khan, you can check it out because she discusses it, and we identify that we live in the dumbest timeline because shit like that is like
that's the stupid. Because you know what the real problem with that is, eh? It's the I don't. You know what? I don't even want to.
No. Go ahead.
I'm saying like straight up, like I think gender, choosing your gender and stuff, but like this concept of identifying as things has gone way too far. Like,
no, it's not a real thing.
Ridiculous.
Oh.
I think it might be a real thing that kids are actually doing that, and parents might be
No,
stupid to let
dude,
that
it's a full made up thing. That's the point. These politicians.
Okay, you're saying
are
that that's okay. I was worried that for a second
No,
that was serious.
that's
If
the
that was a
point.
serious thing, there's a whole other thing.
That's the whole point. This
if-
guy is an idiot who's trying to use identity politics to make everyone who is identifying differently or is finally, as I would say, identifying with who they feel comfortable as, which is what they are doing.
Okay.
And this guy is trying to use that example along with children pretending to be cats. And he's trying to put those two things together to say that it's going too far.
So he's trying to manipulate by using this fact and doesn't realize he's a fucking moron.
No, he knows he's a moron. That's the problem. And that's why we live in the dumbest timeline. Literally, the whole point of the show that I do, the episodes are 20 minutes. It's exactly this. It's to show you and anyone who listens or anyone who watches that we live in the dumbest timeline. It's not the darkest one. It's just the dumbest one. And that's just what it is. I can't every time someone sends me a subject for a new episode, I'm like, this is a real thing? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, God damn, we have some really stupid shit in this world.
We have problems. Yeah, we have problems.
There's so many.
So I don't even know what to say, but I'm like, okay, you guys are crazy. But yeah, people, check it out. It's available now. You can check it out on brianholiday.com, or you can check it out. You can just look up The Dumbest Timeline on any podcast platform. And like I said, episodes drop audio on Friday, the video on Monday. And yeah, just wild. I don't even know. I love the last episode, Cultspiracy.
Cults. Oh boy.
So we talk cults and conspiracies. Good times. Good times.
Oh gosh.
Dumb world. Dumb world.
Well, I can't go on that tangent. That tangent will literally get me in trouble.
No, go.
No. No, that's not even. Like, I'm serious. I don't want to talk about that. That thing's ridiculous.
Well, we could talk about the conspiracy of Zaslav trying to destroy any remnants.
He's mad. Who's he mad at? Why is he shutting down everything?
He's mad at
animations, all sorts of shit. Batman
Everything.
animated series. You don't give a damn.
Something happened with Batman in the animated series that embarrassed this guy at some point.
You remember when back in the day when we didn't own, and I say we because we're all Disney affiliated. So remember when we didn't own the X-Men, and then somebody got mad, took their ball, brought it home, and just disaffiliated everything that wasn't Marvel related. You couldn't find X-Men on lunchboxes. You couldn't find Fantastic Four nowhere.
Toys, nothing.
Nothing. No kind of love. This is exactly what Homeboy is doing. He's just like, no, I don't want none of this, and just everything's going.
It's just weird, but like the thing I'm finding funny, and I know Jaws in the group chat was saying like, well, this is just par for the course whenever someone takes over a company. So
it's aggressive for that.
That's the thing for me. Like, I understand whenever someone decides to take someone is appointed to be the new head honcho in a company. They come in, they have a lot to do, and they're just like, I want to start fresh. So you start to see them make some cuts, and you're like, okay, this makes sense.
You don't publicly announce the cuts, all of them.
Yeah, that's one thing. You don't
rub salt in the wound. Like, oh, you remember that movie you worked 2 or 3 years on? Yeah, shelved, and everybody's gonna know that it's shelved. Everybody.
And I'm looking for $3 billion in this merger, so I'm gonna make it happen. And I was like,
I'm gonna make $3 million.
Sir, $3 billion? Like, why that high? Like, you couldn't go for like $500 million first. Like, I'm looking for $500 million first year. Just even that. No, he went $3 billion off rip and was just like, nope. Warner Brother Discovery is gonna be one thing. HBO Max and Discovery is one thing, and that's just it now. You guys just have to get ready for that. And
I don't want that though.
I'm gonna
you don't care what you want. That's the whole big point of it.
But shouldn't he care what people want?
No.
Aren't the people who make him have?
You are the penny percentile of the money that he's stacking. He don't give a damn about you.
Yeah.
You don't give a damn.
Yeah.
All of you added up, yes, but there's not.
But that's what I'm saying. No, but I wasn't saying
enough of you added up. There's not enough of you added up that can make his pockets.
But can I ask everyone in this room, are you enjoying this change?
I don't even have this shit. I don't care.
From a Crave perspective, I think we're still shielded in Canada because we have Crave. Crave has a deal with HBO. So even the stuff that he's going to cancel is still going to end up on Crave. Like not the Max originals that he's doing are that
Don't
he's
worry
all
about it.
canceling and pulling stuff, which is fine. I mean, that sucks. Sesame Street losing 200 episodes, that's crazy. Like him doing all
Oh, he
that
did
stuff.
That's
that?
crazy. They just took them right off.
Yeah.
He
But,
just
like,
took
which-
Sesame gone. 200 episodes
Which,
of Sesame Street gone.
like our Sesame Street or
Sesame-
like current
Sesame Street,
okay.
Sesame Street. Because so
But still,
Sesame Street.
So here's exactly from what I understand. Zaslav said, and I don't know where he gets this from because I don't agree because I looked at all the shows. But Zaslav was saying that HBO Max skews more male and Discovery skews more female. And he isn't looking to do any children's content because there's the demo for children isn't really where that's where they're making their money. So he wants to skew more like balanced male and female for content, and then he's just gonna produce that stuff, and he's gonna start pulling most of the children based stuff.
but like,
So
for
that's why he's
example-
pulling a lot of the cartoons, and that's
But-
why he's pulling Sesame Street and stuff like that.
But I find some of it, like, example, okay, I understand that makes sense for Sesame Street then. Like, you know, I can get the Sesame Street, but then, for example, the Batman Cape Crusader that he's deciding to pull, that is not at all like, I would safely say ever since Batman the animated series occurred,
Mhm.
every single Batman series is more likely than not watched by a Batman animated fan for at least a few episodes to see if it's at all comparable, and if it's too kiddie, like they'll stop watching. Like, example, there was one called Batman. I watched that for a while. I was like, that's okay. Then there was like Batman Brave and the Bold, I think. And although it was comedic and satire and it was entertaining, I was like, no, it's not what I'm looking for, right?
Oh, I actually really like Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, a lot of people did. I was just like, like I said, it was very satire. Like,
yes,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So like, I was just like, it wasn't my thing at the time.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know? But when you see the Caped Crusader and when you hear like Bruce Timm is in it and this and that, you're like, you know, your audience is, although yes, you would like to hope that you're creating new Batman animated fans for the future.
Yeah.
But like when you see Bruce Timm and they even say this is basically going to be the continuation of set universe, it's like,
yeah, or like the prequel too, because that's
the
point, right?
Oh,
like,
it's true, right? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's gonna be before, but still, yes, I
But
agree.
you get what I'm saying? Like, it's it's
100%.
you and I who are losing, not the kids in this one. That's where I'm like, that's like as if they had Harley Quinn and decided to X Harley Quinn. It'd be like, that's completely an adult show. It's not a kids show. Just because it's cartoon. Like,
yeah, I would be very confused if they decided to axe Harley Quinn.
No, but
no,
I'm saying, like, I don't think they would.
But I mean, I'm agreeing with you in the sense that like you wouldn't axe Harley Quinn, so why would you axe a Batman series by Bruce Timm that is being produced by Matt Reeves? Like all the executive producers are people who've worked with Batman recently on a more adult-leaning front
and successfully
dealt with Batman on an adult-leaning front. And now you're gonna go and bump that show. And again, it's not canceled because that's the other thing people kept like making a big. Anyone who I was talking to was just like, well, don't forget, it's not canceled. They're just not gonna do it over here, and they're gonna try and shop it around. I'd like to say, if I'm any of the other networks, and I see Zaslav trying to make $3 billion out of cuts, I'm not gonna turn around and give you money so that I can help you reach your goal as a competitor, and then take one of your IPs that you make more money on for franchise and merch stuff. And then because I get a little bit of ad revenue, like what am I really getting out of the deal? I'm paying you so that I can put it on my platform so that I can either get subscription numbers if it's a streaming platform, or I can get ad revenue if I'm putting it on linear television. Other than that, what are the major things? Because you're not giving me the licensing rights to produce the show or any of that stuff. You're just licensing the show to me, and that to me, I'm like, nah, I'm not playing that. I'm not gonna give you guys money, all this money, so that I can essentially do. For me, it looks like I'm just doing free advertising for you. and I'm
That's
not
fair.
about to just do
Because-
free advertising for you.
Because this guy, this Zaslav, he's in charge of all of Warner Brothers, which includes all of
Warner Brothers Discovery, yeah.
Warner Brothers Discovery or Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers Discovery is one company now, dude.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I there's so many changes with these things. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
hard to keep up.
It's Warner Brothers Discovery. That is one company
Okay.
now. They're merged.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then, yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I find it. Don't get me wrong. You're obviously going to see sharp changes, but to take it, like, how can I say? It's like as if you worked for DC, and like, let's say you worked at DC, you're like, you know what? We're never going to make another Mixoplex story again.
Right.
Sure, that's shitty. Some people will be upset, but Mixoplex, whatever.
Yeah, you're like, whatever.
But this guy's coming in like, we're not doing no Superman stories anymore. You're like,
And the annoying,
what
the
are
other
you
annoying,
doing?
part, yeah, the other annoying part is, then you start hearing rumors like, oh, but he loves Henry Cavill, so he's still gonna be trying to figure out to give Henry Cavill a project. Oh, he loves Leslie, the girl that just played Barbara, Batgirl, but that movie just didn't work for him, so he's still looking for another project for her. And you're
Yeah.
like, wait, what? So you're canceling projects, you're dumping everything. The two directors that worked on the Batgirl tried to log in to see some of the clips that they had filmed and stuff like that. All that stuff was gone from the servers. They didn't even have
Wow.
access to it. Completely gone. That's it. It's finished.
Wow.
And then you want people to work with it. And on top of that, this is Dave. This is the
This
part.
guy's rude.
This is the part I really don't understand, Dave. And this is the part that I've been asking people. I've been really trying to wrap my head around. There was an article in one of the trades recently, Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, Deadline. I don't remember which one. But they got industry executives from Hollywood to analyze all the streaming platforms.
Mhm.
So they had HBO Max, Peacock, which is NBC Universal. They had Hulu, Disney Plus for Disney. They had HBO Max for Warner Brothers. They had Paramount Plus for Paramount, which is formerly CBS All Access. And they had Netflix, Apple, and I think that's it. I think those are all the
Prime?
streaming platforms. Oh, and
Prime?
Prime. Yes, thank you. You're right. So they were told, okay, we need you to give us an assessment and an evaluation of all of them, and we're going to put the list out of where you think they all fall, who's the strongest, who's the lowest, so on and so forth. And last year, so in 2021, the top one was Netflix. The second highest was HBO Max, which, if you think about it, with as much stuff as Disney had done, you would think Disney Plus would have been second because their subscription numbers were high, I think even higher than HBO Max. But the reason that HBO Max was getting more love was everyone was saying about HBO Max, because it's not just the numbers they were taking into consideration. They're taking a lot of factors into consideration. And the number one thing everyone said about HBO Max is HBO Max is putting quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And they're working at making really good shows. They have some stuff on the platform that's not necessarily the best, but overall, everything they're putting out, they're really trying to produce something solid. And everyone was saying that. And I was just like, okay, this seems like, the vibe is there. Everyone's feeling that the vibe is there. They're all feeling the energy from HBO Max. Then the HBO Max Discovery deal was going through, and people started getting a little bit worried. Fast forward to the second article, 2022 now. They asked execs again, who do you think is the number one? This year, the number one was HBO Max. It beat Netflix because Netflix has been canceling stuff like crazy.
Yeah.
They're not being as serious. People are starting to wonder what their plan is, what their trajectory is. They're seeing drop-offs. They pulled out of Russia. Blah, 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 blah. Every aspect of Netflix, people started going, okay, Netflix might not be the strongest. It's time to start paying attention to some other players. And then they were just like, oh, HBO Max is one of the strongest players in the game. They're definitely the one to watch. Paramount Plus, Apple, and all these guys, for the price point, is very competitive, but HBO Max was still number one. I read that article in June. It's now August, and I'm sure if you ask every one of those execs, Where do you think HBO Max is now in comparison to everyone else? Guaranteed they don't put it at number 1.
No.
You can't, because they are losing so much stuff.
But it's not just that they're losing, because you know one thing that was consistent with HBO. I don't know how to say this because it's weird to say this in the sense of like they're creating new content.
Okay.
But they're doing fan service via, they're like, we're going to listen to what people actually want to watch. Like that's why Game of Thrones was good. That's why that's why most of the stuff they have is good. Like, I can't go through the list. I mix up the names of who's in what all the time, but like
the HBO stuff, you mean?
Yeah, like name me some HBO stuff.
They have Euphoria. They have I was just looking at the list the other day. They have Euphoria, they had Game of Thrones, they have Barry, they have like the list goes on.
The list goes on. But the thing is, when you look at their shows, it's very
Westworld.
Westworld is another big one.
Yeah.
What if you look at these? What are these? All these are some things that someone wanted at some point in time, more or less.
Yeah.
Someone, they didn't say necessarily, oh, I want an android that's a cowboy thing and blah blah blah, but they said we want to see an AI story that's not just we're destroying everybody because we're destroying it. They want a good story. And they want it in this.
Yeah.
Same thing could be said for Game of Thrones. We want a good. First of all, there's a lot of people who wanted to have Game of Thrones in itself, but then even there's a genre of people who are like, we want a good like medieval dragon story, and bam, they do this. They stick to their guns of like, we're going to try this, and if this even catches a bit of fire, we're going to keep it because it will create the fan service. That's the whole reason why Game of Thrones went ablaze, right? That's how they were able to spend like,
and now they have House of Dragons.
Yeah. And like, that's like 40 million an episode that's costing them, but like how much revenue are they making? Like, crazy. Like whatever it is.
You have the most spoken about TV show and the most pirated TV show for like multiple years in a row.
Exactly. And with these types of changes that you're seeing now is Zaslav, that's how you say it?
Zaslav. Zaslav.
Okay. For him, with these decisions, it's like it's very much against that grain. And that would worry me as an investor, and that worries me as a consumer. Right. Because you're sitting there and you're like, but I came to you because you used to do this, and now you're getting rid of Batman.
Yeah.
I think they're letting the Penguin and Green Lantern. No, I know they're still doing green light on Green Penguin on Penguin, but I think I know there is an answer about whether or not they're doing the Green Lantern show or not, and I think that's a yes.
I'm going to tell you right now, though, anything you hear that's still in production, don't assume you'll actually see it.
Exactly. That's the other thing that's worrisome, right? Because he, like, again, maybe he'll watch these things and make, like, if he was making judgment calls based off of things he's, like, example, he watched Batgirl and said, no.
Right.
At least you watched it.
By the way, breaking, because this is 20 minutes ago, got announced by, actually, let me click on the article and see when it actually went up. But 20 minutes, at 4:03 p.m. today, it was announced that Warner Brothers is holding a Batgirl screening for cast and crew on the lot.
That kind of sucks.
Can you imagine you worked on this movie for so long and then they cancel it so that they can recoup $90 million through the insurance, and then they turn around and tell you, well, you know what, Leslie Grace, we really still want to work with you. And you know what? You two directors, Adil El Abri and Bilal Falah, we still want to work with you guys. So we're going to do you a solid, and we're going to screen the movie that you worked on, which, by the way, another article came out yesterday, the same article I was mentioning before where they talked about how they tried to access the server.
Mm-hmm.
They said in that interview, we would not be able to release the movie as is. It's missing content. We would need the money to finish the movie properly. So the only way Batgirl gets made is if Warner Brothers actually invest in finishing it. Otherwise, it is dead. You can't do a Snyder cut of this.
Yeah.
Where like Snyder was saying, oh, we already have most of the stuff. Most of the stuff is already shot. No, these guys have admitted there's missing content. We can't release the film as is. The video effect, the VFX aren't done.
Oh, Jesus. So wait, so they're doing a screening, no FX in the movie?
It seems so. It would seem so.
How much of a more slap in the face? Like, it's like they pissed in their hand and then slapped the person in the face with that hand. Like, let's be serious. That's rude.
Yeah.
That's rude.
So rude.
I feel bad for them. I feel like taking a pause for that cast and crew, like in remembrance of, like, you know, that sucks.
I don't think they care. Leslie Grace. I mean, the fact that they keep saying, "Oh, well, we still want to work with everybody," it's like, well,
that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, you wouldn't. If I still wanted to work with people, wouldn't I have told people in advance, "Hey, by the way, this is going to happen," instead of people finding out while, like, the two guys were at a wedding supposedly and found out that the movie was going to be pulled while they were away. They didn't get a notification beforehand. They just saw the release of the news.
That's amazing.
They didn't know.
Well, that happened. That happened with the former like one of the top guys at another one of the guys, top guys. I forget his name. It's some Japanese or Asian or Chinese name. Sorry, I'm super rude to say it that way, but I don't know. What's the politically correct way? East Asian is technically the best way?
You're talking, well, yeah, because you're not talking about South Asian, which is like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. You're talking about Japan, China, Korea. That's East Asia.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but I know that he was. He found out.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be racist.
I'm not trying to be.
I'm
Asian, one of them Chinese, Japanese.
Listen, it was an uneducated
Filipino,
moment.
Spanish,
There's a difference between racist and uneducated.
As long as you didn't end anything with an ong, I was on your side, bro. If you headed that direction, I'd be like, listen.
No. Anyways, the point is, he was like in the screening of another movie and found out.
That's cool.
He was, I feel like finding it, but yeah, it was like he's like Zaslav. What's his position?
Wait, are you talking about someone at Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, Walter, the guy who
Walter?
the guy
like
who's
you
like
know
the head
him?
of DC. No, but that's not his last name. But it's like it's a Japanese name. Walter.
Man.
Hamada. Walter Hamada.
Yes.
I was gonna say Fukuyama. All right, go on.
He's the one. He's the one who he was in a movie.
Yes.
And he finds out about, like, so you have, because what's his position?
So he's the president of DC Films.
Okay, that's it.
Zaslav announces this thing, doesn't tell him. Walter Hamada, who's been kind of thrown under the bus in a lot of situations over at DC, finds out, like Dave said, man, this is hilarious that's who you were trying to reference. I love how
you went all the way around the world to get to Walter.
There. Did it get there?
You went all the way around the world to get to Walter. Let me just tell you.
Well, you know how hard.
And this guy looks kind of. Anyways,
but he goes through all that stuff, finds out is there in the screening. You're right, like you said, gets mad and decides I'm quitting. Then they convince him, okay, no, don't quit. At least stay on until Blue Beetle is finished. So now he's.
Imagine if Blue Beetle got canceled.
So right now,
on his way out, they're like this. By the way, you retire now.
So right now at DC, he's still the president of DC Films.
Yes,
and it's in limbo because he's, from what I understand, he's looked into trying to end his contract, and they're trying to convince him to stay at least until the Blue Beetle thing's done. But he feels so disrespected because, like you were saying, and it's very valid, if someone decides to cancel the film, like, you are the head of president of DC Films. This guy's your boss. Your boss doesn't go to you to tell you he's canceling the project that your people are working on. And you find out afterwards.
In the news, like people were texting him, like,
I'm trying to call you, buddy. Listen, I'm using a company jet to go to your house and be like, nigga, we're having a talk. No.
I would be like, don't do it. I'm out too. Like
I would, like, if he would be near me, I'd be like spitting in his face, borderline. I'd be freaking out. Yeah, because like it's also like, you know, definitely Batgirl and Blue Beetle and even Black Adam. These are movies trying to get away. But you say that, Brian. But what's the thing we've all asked? Don't do a Batman. Don't do Wonder Woman. Don't do Superman.
Oh, I know.
This is their answer to try and do that. and he finally got a chance. And
Yeah, okay.
don't get me wrong, maybe it was that bad of a movie. We'll never know.
Yeah.
But I'll say this as well. Is it as bad as like the Justice League? Is it as bad as Batman, Superman?
I'll
like,
say this,
they've
though.
released a lot of Batman Returns.
But I think,
or sorry, Superman Returns or whatever that movie was.
Man of Steel, yeah. But
no. I'm talking about
the Superman Returns. Yes, the one from years ago. But I mean, that's before everyone's time. But that's fair.
I will say those movies, and this is that bad.
But okay, but to your point though, if I ran the studio and I had on my docket Superman Returns, Justice League, and I had a list of movies that everyone has panned, when I go and watch the cut of Batgirl, and I'm like, I can't release this shit. Like, you know,
they're gonna clown me for this shit. Yeah.
Just like, listen,
if you're the first one out and all you have is Man of Steel and you're going up against Iron Man 2, yeah, put out whatever. I don't give a damn. If it has a cape, it works. If you're Batgirl and you're going up against a fucking Disney Plus series, if I can lose to an Emmy-nominated Disney Plus series, my guy, we're not putting this shit out. No.
Yeah.
If I could lose to WandaVision, we're not putting this shit out. Okay.
Yeah.
If Wonder Woman 1984 lost to Falcon and Winter Soldier, we're not putting this shit out.
Right.
No.
And
but
I
see,
agree.
that's but those are if those movies shouldn't have come out, which Wonder Woman 2 84, which is also the stupidest.
It's so
thing
bad that they kept the like Project Secret title as the title. That's how bad that movie was. That's supposed to be for like movie studios and us to know when we're working on it. Like WW84, ha ha ha. That's the show code. They kept the show code as a title. That's how bad that shit is.
They were too lazy to hide it. They're just like, you know what? Let people.
Let's just call it 1984.
But again, guys, how, like, let's be serious. How bad? Because let's also think about it. In my
I don't
rebuttal,
think Batgirl was that bad.
Playing devil's advocate to what you're saying about it being like, you know, maybe not as a big of a property. I counter with this. It's still a Batman property and a blatant one.
Well,
it's a woman-driven one, and it was diversity. So, female. Sorry. I'm not really politically correct today. I'm tired. I apologize.
Also, I mean, it was going to have Michael Keaton's return, which we weren't, because of the Flash movie being pushed. We were only going to get now from that film when it dropped. So that would have been kind of crazy. But now we're not even going to get that.
See,
can you imagine being Michael Keaton? You get brought back by Warner Brothers for 2, not 1, 2 Warner Brothers films where they ask you to play Batman. Flash and Batgirl. Both projects, you're supposed to appear as Batman. You're reclaiming the cowl. You're going to do it. Everyone's excited.
The world's excited.
I dare say I would rather see Keaton as Batman than I did Toby as come back as Spider-Man.
100%. I respect Toby's Spider-Man, but no.
I would love to see Keaton come back because Keaton's the OG.
He killed it.
This is
like,
the man.
Go wrong. Adam West did great with what he had, but as you said,
anyway. No.
Well, no, because if you want to say the OG,
I know. I'm not even
But I agree with Brian though.
Like, don't even consider Adam West.
I know.
That's fair. I get what you're saying.
But like, I agree. Movie wise, he's except for the old serials back in the day, he's the OG of the movies, and he kills it. And the only thing now is like, if they came up to him, like if he really likes the character, which I know he does, I'd look at him and be like, unless you do Batman Beyond, don't even call me. Like I would just hang up the phone.
Y'all need to let Batman Beyond just be a cartoon, man. That will not look good in the theaters. You have to know that, right? You know that. First of all, Batman Beyond Live would not look good.
Made Batman and Robin and Batman Forever look good enough to be in the theaters. They can make that look a lot.
You're talking about a mouthless Batman that still somehow has a mouth, that flies around with wing capes that don't even look like wings, that has a floating ship like the nigga is Jetson, is gonna look. No,
I could guarantee you they could make it look good.
They can't get Justice League regular good. They're not gonna do Batman Beyond properly.
But check this though. Imagine it. You saw Blade Runner 2049.
I didn't see that shit.
Oh, okay.
I didn't.
That's an ongoing joke of me not seeing Blade Runner.
I was hoping that's gonna.
Because if you saw Blade Runner 49, they can do the car.
Okay.
Is that the vehicles they
Okay.
did in Blade
Fine.
Runner
Actually,
49.
just take Blade Runner, make that your skyline. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
And
fact.
then you have Batman.
You're already there. You're halfway there with
Hmm.
Blade Runner 2049.
I don't
You
know how
throw in,
that,
you throw
it's
in,
just the costume. It's the
yeah.
costume.
You probably have to redo the costume a bit.
Yeah.
And like half the villains won't work. That they can't do the guy
Right.
who's basically like a nuclear meltdown.
And
Of
like the
course they
electric
can. CGI.
Nah, bro. These guys can't
Dude,
do
if
regular.
they can make Avatar, they can make one character.
If they can't do regular Justice League right with all the CGI in the world, what the fuck makes you think that they can do a villain
Because
properly?
they care
Well,
about
okay.
Batman more than Justice League. I said it.
I'm not sure. These guys don't
said
pay
it.
the big bucks for their CGI. Trust me.
If I
That's
was
it.
wrong,
That's
they
the
would have
problem.
done a Justice League better by now or multiple attempts by now.
Skinny
These guys
hit the
don't pay
nail
the
on
big
head.
bucks for their CGI. Trust me.
Skinny hit the nail on the head. The problem is
The
that-
other guys do.
Yeah, they're not putting the money into the CGI. So either your options are either you go to smaller video effects studios and let them take their time, but you're not going to necessarily get the same level of quality as you're getting from some of the bigger ones. Shout outs Rodeo FX.
Yeah. Or what the smaller ones are doing, just like giving low ass bids and just working their entire body on the
Yeah,
thing and just
and,
be
like,
like, y'all
killing
are working
yourself.
overtime regardless. Who cares? Like Christmas, what's that? You don't have one.
Right.
Like, so,
You have
I
some
mean,
studios working on movies when the movies are still in theaters.
bro,
Like that's crazy. to
some
me.
studios are submitting their shit when the movie's coming out the next day.
Right.
Shouts to Spider-Man. I'm not under contract no more. Let's see what I want.
No, but it's true. It's
Well, I'm
wild.
not under contract.
He's not wrong. Like it's wild to think that, because I mean, and it's not even like you had to say it, Skinny. The fact that the scene where Andrew Garfield comes in for the first time, the version I saw in theaters and Dave you saw with me
Yeah.
is not the same
Same
version,
version,
that
that's all.
people saw a week later, because they recut and redid the FX on it. And I'm like,
it like a Kanye album. Live.
Right, that's it.
Like on
That's
Spotify.
it.
Kanye invented that shit. Can we listen?
You know what?
Hey,
Okay.
let's give him that.
I will give him that.
The whole let's put your shit out into the cloud and then update it as it goes.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Video games first. So shouts to you, PlayStation, with your live updates. All right,
Yeah.
day one passes. Day one patches. Sorry, shouts to you, PlayStation. Shouts to you,
Yeah.
Xbox. Kanye West movies.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
That's messed up.
That's crazy
That we
Kanye
can
is-
do that.
Yeah.
Oh damn, the movie's not done. No. Put it out anyways. Don't
Yeah.
worry. We'll just re-release it 6 months later again.
And you know what's and like that's insane to me, because now the music industry just does that. Lizzo had the track where she references and says the word spaz that people weren't comfortable with. She
Gone.
went up and changed it. Beyonce did, which I still don't understand. Same
Yeah.
exact thing.
What'd
Used
she
the
say?
same word.
Yeah,
Release-
why are people losing their nuts for Spazz? I don't understand. What's wrong with
I didn't know that spaz offended people, and if
No,
people
it-
feel offended by it, so be it. It's just that
Really?
Really?
yeah, I just
SPAZ?
remember
that.
we're kids of the 80s.
Right.
So
We're
those
stones away
movies-
from book burning.
We're throwing around
We-
crazy words just like every day, hustle and bustle, huh?
yeah.
I'm sorry. If someone came up to me and if I called someone a spaz and they came up to me and like I'm offended, I'd be like, for what?
Well, that's it. But like, remember the conversation we had about ignorance is bliss? We can't play ignorant anymore, because
No.
guess what? We now know that people are offended by the word spaz, and that's just is what it is.
My dumb ass slipped the other day and I said, man, that's G. And then I like froze, realized no one in the room noticed, and I was just like, God damn, thank God. But also I was just like, wow, 14 years ago. Like,
No one cares about me in this room.
no, I had to check myself, but then I'm almost like 14 years ago, I might have gotten an applause or a laugh. 10
Yeah,
years
yeah.
Now I'm just like, shit, did I say a slur?
Yeah, right.
And I damn near did.
I was talking to a friend of mine at work, and she said the R word,
Oh,
and
shit.
like didn't even skip a beat, just kept going. And I usually don't. My sister has special needs. I usually get pretty.
true. Yeah, but you
So-
had to.
When she said it, I like took a beat, and I was just like, I know.
You brought it back. You brought the record back. You did the
Yeah, I made a face, but I didn't call her out because the difference is I would have called her out if we were not surrounded by other people,
Mm.
because I felt like that would make it a bigger deal, and there was
Yeah.
other people around us, and I'm not in the business of embarrassing my friend in front of people, and it's not the type of situation where I could have leaned in and be like, oh, hey, like maybe we don't,
Mm.
so I just let it ride, and then I spoke to her afterwards, and it was fine.
If I don't like you, oh, Totally
Oh,
off
if
the
I'm
cart.
talking to someone
If I don't
that
like
I
you?
don't respect and you drop a slur and I'm
Woo.
just like, hey, you can't, I'm making everyone in the room.
You're getting up at the table. Hey,
Hey, you motherfucker can't say a shit. Like, it's just like,
big emphasis on the shit.
yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Like a preacher. Like I start getting, I'm like Holy Ghosting around people being like,
Motherfucker,
look at this
you.
motherfucker. Like clapping my hands, like, making a big show of it.
Bible thumping on him. Hey.
Preaching the gospel.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You got it.
Yo, I didn't get a chance to tell you guys. Well, sorry. Before I move on, I feel like we've discussed Warner Brothers ad nauseum. I think it's fair to say, I know Dave, you want to talk about Harley Quinn. We can transition into that right away.
Well, I just want to say one thing about that. Dig up, stupid.
Oh wow! Dig up, stupid. No, you can't.
He's digging down. He's digging down.
Yeah,
only way you can.
Making some weird decisions.
Go.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
I gotta say,
it's back.
I found it so far to be very entertaining, but not much direction.
Right.
Didn't the world blow up in season 2?
Yeah. So Gotham is still kind of lawless-esque.
Okay.
Like they're kind of skipping over the part that Gotham is lawless because there's like a mayoral election. The Court of Owls is still kind of running the city. So it's not completely lawless, but the villains are pretty much just running around rampant, doing almost anything they want.
Because where's Batman?
Batman is in the thralls of love with Catwoman and is absolutely useless. He is a simp, like definition of simp. They wrote Batman. Batman can't do anything without Catwoman. Like at one point, Selena moves into the mansion essentially, and is living in her own wing of the mansion. And at one point, Bruce is like trying to get her to hang out. And he's like, yo, maybe you want to stay on my side of the mansion tonight. And she's just like, and she like stretches like a cat. And she's like, actually, I think I'm going to go home. And then like dips just to with him because she knows it's going to hurt his feelings. And then Batman is just being Batman about it. Like all hurt. And like, he's had a lot of loss in his life. And now she's leaving. He shows up at her house with cats.
Yeah.
She's just like, what are these? He's like, I got them for you. She's like, their names are Martha and Thomas. It's like, I don't want these cats. She like closes the door and it's like, and she also is like, I just told you I wanted the night to myself. Why are you here? Like, imagine your girl tells you, hey, I'm going to go back to my place. I'm just going to take a night. It's not like she's mad at you, but she's just like, I'm going to bounce to my place for a night because I've been at your place for a couple days. I just want to go to my place. You show up with gifts. Are you crazy?
I don't know what that is, but yeah, I wouldn't know.
That's stupidity. That's what that was. But yeah, I think I agree with you, Dave, that the direction feels. I mean, the one plot is that Ivy is trying to terraform Gotham, and I haven't watched the episode past the what's his name, Swamp Thing.
And where's Robin and Batgirl? Well, I know Robin's 12.
Well, you actually have an episode, a Nightwing episode.
Oh, hooray!
Which, I mean, he's completely the opposite of what Nightwing is. Like, he like as opposed to being like, a lone, like, a trailblazer of his own. He's like super like looking for everyone's affection and approval and like literally doing things to show off. Like he's trying to be alpha male all the time and stuff, which. It's either going to rub you the wrong way or the right way. I was laughing when I was watching that.
It was funny.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But like, I think one of the things they're going to do, because I forget the name of her plant, the plant with like the eyes for hands or whatever. It's very much
JB
like
Smooth's character. I don't know.
Yeah.
JB Smooth.
Yeah. His character reminds me of that show, that monster show, that animated monster show back when we were kids with the monster who holds his eyes. I don't know if you remember that.
Real Monsters.
Real Monsters. I was like, I thought it was Real Monsters, but I'm like, it can't be that.
Real Monsters.
Yes, it's true. It's very true.
I thought you were just saying, Real Monsters.
No,
but
it's true. It actually says,
Real
Monsters. So he reminds me a bit of that, but like that character, I'm assuming he's going to turn into some giant baddie that's going to be too much for them. That's what's the angle I'm thinking of with how they're promoting it. But like, yeah, the only thing that's really happened is like she's doing that, and Harley Quinn is being Harley Quinn, but like their relationship has been tested a lot on the show, which I was like, that's kind of funny. Like, are you guys going to go in a direction where they're going to get divorced, or are they? I guess they're technically married now.
I don't think they're married. I remember like, I saw the Swamp Thing episode was the last one. Unless they've had a wedding.
No. I'm trying to remember how, because I know that she interrupted her getting married to Kite.
Oh yeah, no, they're not married.
But I forgot whether or not they did something in.
No, I used to think that's how that worked too. When I used to always think when I was younger, like, wait, hold on, if I'm gonna jump into a wedding and be like, I object, does that mean I have to marry the bitch? Like, I don't know. I thought that's how that worked. Like, you just took the motherfucker's place and she said okay. Like, you just step in and be like,
that would be wild.
Step aside, sir. And yeah, so maybe.
No, I mean, I think they're definitely. King Shark and Clayface are still there. Clayface is now Billy Bob Thornton because he did he kill him? I don't remember what he did to him.
No, he died by accident and he decided to take it over.
Right. So Clayface was hanging out with Billy Bob Thornton because Billy Bob Thornton is playing Thomas Wayne in the James Gunn movie The Waynes. And Billy Bob dies, and Clayface, who was hired as James Gunn's chair.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Clayface was hired to be James Gunn's chair.
And he knows it's Clayface.
Yes, he knows. He hired him.
Yeah.
It's totally it's because he can adjust the chair to be any shape. So, yeah, dude, honestly, sometimes Harley Quinn as a show, you have to just laugh because
why do I feel like James Gunn is trying to wrap up real quick at Marvel so that he can go and save DC and just turn it into his own personal mess of whatever that first movie it was that he released?
I mean, a little crazy Suicide? Idea. Are we looking at the Feige of?
Yeah, man, of course. This nigga's trying to do exactly. Yo, you think these rich white dudes don't sit down with their gray ass hairs and talk about how they can all make money like this? Yeah. Feige's like, listen, I see what you did with that Peacemaker. I'm not supposed to tell niggas, but I watch that shit. Yeah, okay, it's funny. Yeah. So here, what? You give me Adam Warlock. You do what you got to do with Guardians. You come back for Guardians 3000. Go over there. Go play. Like Homeboy did in Ninja Turtles. Go run, play. Go play, run, play.
Yeah, I mean,
DC, do all what you want because there's nothing to mess up.
Because the most consistent person who's been directing at DC right now has been Gunn.
Yeah, a movie and a TV show.
Right.
Suicide Squad 2 kind of might have sucked, but he got what he wanted out of that, which was making John Cena a star for like ever.
But it didn't really suck in comparison to what a Suicide Squad.
Right.
Like it was a good.
It was panned by critics, but what do critics know? It was good to us because it was.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like if you're gonna make them. The definition of a movie for a comic book movie is to embrace what the comic book is about. I would dare say, I'm not saying it's as good as Sin City, but how Sin City was claimed to be a very good
adaptation.
No, I like this better than Sin
City. I found Suicide Squad exactly that. I found Suicide Squad to be a great adaptation, especially within the first 5 minutes when everyone dies.
Sin City took itself way too seriously.
Yeah,
but that's how the comic book was.
Extra points for blowing up Skeet Davidson's face. Big extra points for just right off the bat.
That's funny.
Skeet.
I'm dealing with trauma from dating Kim.
Yeah. What did you expect?
Yeah.
What did you expect?
Idiot,
how do you go on TV or do interviews and say that and expect people to be like, "Oh, poor you"? It's like, no, homie.
No, he has a track record.
Who told you to tat their names on your neck, you idiot?
Oh my god,
you idiot! Who told you? Who told you that?
Pete Davidson.
That wasn't gonna make her yours, Dave.
I gotta say though, honestly, like I was saying to my friends, if I was in a relationship and someone tattooed my kids' names on their body and we've been together less than a year.
Restraining orders, plural.
Facts.
Get the fuck out of here.
Restraining order for every kid, every sister, for me,
for the nanny,
all of
dog,
them. My mom, all of them. Yeah.
For Jorge, who's cleaning up my yard, everybody.
Yeah, because that's not normal. I don't care how comfortable you are with your body and being like, you know what? I just like tattoos. It doesn't mean anything. I just tattoo on my body and I can write right over it. It's like, homie, that's not the point. To
No,
some
that's not how
people,
that
that
works.
shit is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, don't tattoo my name on your body without,
No.
like,
Without me knowing. Or
yeah,
just,
like
yeah, I
we're
don't
in a
know.
relationship. Like, if you want to tattoo your name on your body, my name on your body without telling me, and we don't know each other, that shit's weird. But I can't say anything about it. But if
Well,
I'm in a relationship with you and you come home one day and you have my kids' names tattooed on your body, what are you doing?
It also depends where. Like, if he does it like the wild, like painful spot, you're kind of like, what were you thinking? Like, why would you put him here?
Anywhere. I'm not cool with it.
I don't understand. When you just meet people and be like, oh, you're a nice guy. How do you spell your name? McGregor.
It's like, but I could understand if it was their kids. You know what I mean? Like, if it was their kids, cool. But it was her. Like, don't get me wrong. Technically speaking, because you're married, they're your kids now. But like, no,
they're not married. They were dating.
Yeah, that was when they're dating.
Yeah, dude, Pete and her.
Like, this is the same person y'all clowned me for.
Actually got married.
Yep. Nope. This is the guy who's taking.
No,
rides.
I was always clowning Kanye. I was not clowning Pete.
No,
you did say it. You like Kanye doesn't like having this guy around his kids,
and there's a reason why.
If you had told me that Pete got the kids' names tattooed, I would have been like, "You're damn right. That's creepy. Get him out of here."
That coming. You could definitely see that coming.
I did not think that Pete Davidson would tattoo girlfriend's children's name. Skinny, you couldn't pay me to have guessed that one. I know the man likes tattoos, but I'm not gonna assume he's gonna go get the kid's name. Like, no, sorry, even if it's not the names, it was the initial. I don't care what it is. Don't get my kids' initials, names, face. I don't want you tattooing yourself with anything related to my kids. If we're not
slime ball, man. He's a slime ball. He's that. I know that slime ball. Went to high school, many of them slime balls, man.
It's weird. It's weird. It's so weird.
Hey, Skeet. Yeah, I think I have a crush on this girl, man. But like, I don't know. You want to tell her for me? Yeah, sure. Blows her back out in the bathroom. Same.
Oh my God.
Same kind of douche. Yeah. You see, you Skeet. You got yours. You're gonna get yours.
Oh gosh. Well, with that being said, I think you should watch Harley Quinn.
There you go.
I still think it's entertaining, although it is a little aimless.
Yeah.
How many episodes in right now?
3.
Out of how many?
No, there's more than 3.
I didn't watch this weekend. That's true. So
there has to be more than 3. There has to be
3 out of what, like a 12 or these like an 8 episode seasons?
Oh, how long is the season going to be? That I'm not 100% sure.
If it's one of those 7 episode season type shows, don't waste my time.
I mean, that's kind of becoming a norm, though.
I hate that. That's not the norm, man. Boy, anyways, nope.
There's going to be 10 episodes.
Okay, see, that's
they're
good.
up to episode 6.
Ooh, damn. And there's Aimless at episode 6. Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's a new episode tomorrow called Another Sharkly Adventure, but Joker: The Killing Vote. Episode 6 dropped last week on the 18th.
So you're saying it's still
I missed only one episode so far.
Oh, see, I think the last episode I saw was the one before the one you saw.
A thief, a mole, an orgy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't see the Swamp Thing one where
nope,
Mr.
don't
Freeze's...
say it.
No, but I'm just where Mr. Freeze's wife is there.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I wish I did.
I gotta say, so as much as you're saying the episodes have been aimless, an episode like It's a Swamp Thing was good. You had Constantine, Mr. Freeze's girl, Ivy, and Harley, and Swamp Thing, and it's just a wild story, and everyone's just kind of crazy. And the episode before that with the Court of Owls was kind of funny, but ultimately.
But I think one thing that this season might be, I think they're trying to table set for the future in the sense that, because like as you said before, right? Like they're kind of skipped over all the anarchy in Gotham. They're kind of handling in the background. So I feel like they're doing all these shows to like.
I just find it weird
set things up in the background while you have a story going on of nothingness. That's the best way to describe it.
I just find it like a weird decision to skip over that much stuff. So like, because you set up like, why isn't Batman running around trying to fix the city the way he should be, as opposed
trying to get some of that cap?
Yeah. It's wild how wrapped around her finger he is in the show. You're just like,
Me.
sir, can you have some respect for yourself, please?
The man calls himself Batman. Shit. Not
Are we
ass
gonna?
man.
We're gonna really hate on his name like now.
I never understood
Like,
the symbol of Batman. I would
Dude.
like
Batman, Spider-Man, Superman.
yeah, all the things and then mans. I never said they were good.
Oh,
If I'm Batman and I'm not at you spitting like sonic beams and then I'm not really Batman. If I'm a guy that beats you to a pulp, then call me beat that ass man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
beat that ass man.
I don't know if I'm Batman and if at some point I might pull out a bat and whoop you. Haha, double entendre, Jay-Z
It's
style.
funny that you
Cool.
say that. It's funny that you say that because in the Superman, the British one, where it's a Elseworld written by the guys from Monty Python.
Yes.
Batman.
There you go. Let's go.
Batman is a guy who, when Clark was younger, threw a cricket bat through the guy's body.
Oh shit.
And Batman has a cricket bat in his chest, lodged in, and that's why he's called Batman, because of the cricket bat.
See, that's
And
Batman.
that's pretty funny that you
I
said
like
that.
that.
Yeah,
I like
it's kind
that.
of ridiculous, but that's wild.
So
What else did you guys watch?
I watched Uncoupled.
What's Uncoupled?
Oh, the Neil Patrick Harris show.
It's
I
can
haven't
I
watched
say this?
But Tanisha Campbell's on it too, right?
Tanisha Campbell.
Tanisha-
It's Sex in the City.
Yeah.
It's male Sex in the City.
Yeah, that's all it is, right?
That's really all it is. Homeboy
that's
gets
what I
broken
heard.
up with after like 30 years in a couple with his boyfriend or something like that. And then he's just going through the motions. And you have like, the Samantha, which is in this place, like the light-skinned black dude who's just like a TV anchor weather guy, but he's also a slut. Has no remorse or any kind of has no self-awareness and doesn't seem to care about anybody's. You have the Charlotte and Miranda and two characters, which the chubby kind of unwanted friend, who's like down on himself, and he's like an art curator, so that's how he's Charlotte, but then he's a loser, so that's how he's Miranda. Anyway,
yeah.
So
you chose violence. You're just gonna call
I'm out here, whatever. So yeah, he's kind of a wanted, and by the end of the season, you find out this is a twist because they really try their best to make this like a male version of. And then my man gets breast cancer, and you're like, nigga. I mean, it's a thing. It is a thing.
Yeah.
But like, really, Neil Patrick, you had to.
There's like a famous. There was like a famous black actor who ended up with breast cancer, which I guess they call it breast cancer, but chest
they went to that trope because it's too far after the 80s for them to do the obvious other trope. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, so then they couldn't have done that, and then it's really just
which also thankfully they don't, because that's played out.
That would be horrible.
Yeah,
they already have homeboy on his best friend who's like the salute. They already have him on Grindr like all the time. It's like, Jesus, come on, bro, like chill out. Like, it really is not. Is it like that anyway? So, Neil Patrick Harris, his character, him and Tisha Campbell are great. They're realtors in New York trying to sell like penthouses to like rich folk. It's kind of cool, and I feel like the gay community are gonna have problems with this show.
Oh, interesting. I wonder what their vibe is.
Because there's a lot of tropes and dated from I can tell that they're kind of dated stereotypes of like gay men.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not how it is. Like, but
if you have Neil Patrick Harris on the show, out of all people, wouldn't it maybe like it?
You would think it would be more well thought out.
But is it? But are you saying that, or is there a possibility? And I use this term lightly because I don't know. I'm obviously not that well connected in the gay community, but is there a satire for what would be maybe for them?
Could be, but I'm not connected enough to know that if that is
like
satire or if it's properly delivered satire.
Exactly. Because like if you have Neil Patrick Harris on the show and you're having that feeling, I would be surprised because obviously I feel Neil Patrick Harris would put his foot down right away.
And also not even just Neil Patrick Harris on the show, Neil Patrick Harris as a producer. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Of all
This
the shows
is
we would
also
watch,
weird
though,
for me
how
to
did you?
say.
Is this a Danny pick though? Because I
No,
feel like
this was a Danny pick.
Okay.
She threw it up, and I was like, all right, I can dunk with this. It's cool. First episode is cool. Second episode is cool. And then I was like, oh shoot, they got Tisha Campbell, and then third episode. There's 9 episodes. By the 6th episode, I'm like, all right, this is getting kind of tiresome because he was just like he's whining about his ex, and like he's getting into like his first time doing casual sex and not really knowing or getting into it. It's just like,
but that's it. It's great. Like everything you're describing sounds exactly like Sex in the City, but
it's
just
like,
with
come on, bro. Like, and it's like it's weird, and this is not to say that he doesn't have the place to do this, but like you play straight Barney better than you play this character.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but
if that makes sense,
it could make sense, but it could also just mean that you prefer his comedy as Barney as opposed to his comedy as this character.
I don't know, man. I watch Queer Eye, and I feel like they're more authentic than him. And he's acting, but you're saying, like it's like
maybe it's a satire thing. Again, like I would assume, because I'm just saying this because I've always thought Neil Patrick Harris is a great actor.
Yeah,
I think he's great. Like anything he's in, he's kind
Harold
of like
and Kumar. I thought
he doesn't phone it in. He's like Tom Cruise. He doesn't phone it in. Whenever you hire him, he does it.
And it ends on a cliff. It ends on a cliffhanger, of course. But with Netflix, it's like y'all niggas
it's gonna get canceled. Yeah,
sure. So it's like, why'd you even do that?
How many episodes is it?
9.
Really?
9.
Hour or half an hour?
No, what? I couldn't even tell. Like
can we talk about that for 2 seconds?
I couldn't even tell. I was like, how long is this? I don't know.
I understand that because the streaming platforms don't need to do the time limits, they can do long or short, and they take the time they need, that everyone's just like, this is way better. I would just like to point out, though, when Kevin Feige and them kept bullying us, being like, She-Hulk is going to be a half-hour sitcom. It's a half-hour sitcom. It's a half-hour sitcom. Then I go and watch the first episode 35 minutes. And I'm like, this is not a half-hour. A half-hour sitcom is 22 minutes plus commercials. Yeah. So that comes to 30 minutes. So when I see it, if you want to give me a 30-minute show, then I'm like, okay, this is already longer than most shows.
Well, that's what they're giving you. They're giving you the show, what it would be if there was no commercials.
But that's the thing. An hour-long show without commercials, the shortest it can be is 37 minutes.
Oh. Which means it's an hour-long show.
The shortest I've ever seen. A full episode. The shortest I've ever seen for a sitcom without the commercials removed, 18 minutes. The shortest I've ever seen a drama hour-long show was 37 minutes. It's an episode of House. 37 minutes and like 20-something seconds. And I remember specifically thinking, wow, that's a really short episode. And then realizing like, oh, there must have put so many commercials in that episode when it aired, because 37 minutes is short to me. Yeah. And 18 is short for a sitcom. So when I see a 35-minute She-Hulk sitcom show, I'm like, I'm not complaining. Give me and take as long as you need to take. But let's not pretend that you're doing a half-hour sitcom. You're not at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me, I mean, if you guys don't have anything else to say about the show you just watched, Uncoupled, could I talk about She-Hulk?
Yeah, bro, let's go. I'm surprised you didn't talk about it yet.
But my question is this: does it come out on Thursdays or Wednesdays?
Yeah, it's
Thursdays, Jog. Thursdays.
That's crazy, because I was really trying to get home early so I could try and watch the episode.
No, they're not trying to compete with Andor when it drops on Wednesday. They're not trying to do that.
Thank God,
like that, because nobody cares about Andor.
No one does.
No one gives a shit about Andor.
Fuck you, Andor.
Yeah. Oh, what? You're dead already. Why do I want to watch
exactly
about you?
Yeah. You want to know why you died?
Because you're not Solo. You're dead already. Nothing. Why do I want to watch a movie about you?
You're a thief.
Don't kill the characters and give me their history. I don't care. I don't care, bro.
Speaking of people we say fuck you to, Dan Harmon is out here trying to get 6 seasons.
Oh, yeah, man. Look at you.
He's out here trying hard. He's trying hard.
For what? For what?
Community. He's trying to get
Community back now.
Yeah.
So his whole little hashtag.
Doesn't Chevy Chase want to hate that shit forever and never want to do it?
Yeah, well, isn't Donald
Chevy
Glover
Chase
making
is dead on the show, so he's not going to come back.
Oh, he dies? I never actually saw the
Yeah, they kill him off because they're just like, they don't want to work with him anymore, which is wild.
Wow.
You could do that, huh?
Yeah.
Donald Glover.
When you're Dan Hammond.
Yeah, Donald Glover is not going to come back.
Of course not.
I don't. No, I mean, even Alison Brie, I would be like, you don't need this. You know,
That
None
Annie?
of them do.
No, that's not Annie. Yeah, Anderson. Yeah, that's Annie. Yeah,
None of them
need
really
that.
do.
None
Yeah.
of them.
no. I think the only person that I would think might
Abed.
Danny Pudi. Well, I mean, even he's on Mythic Quest over on Apple
But-
TV.
But
Mythic
did they
Quest.
always have a?
It's
I'm
a good
curious.
show. The face you're making. It's a good show.
On Apple TV. If you don't get the Apple TV.
Mythic Quest ain't that bad, folks. Mythic Quest ain't that bad.
I'm not even on
That's
this.
so
I'm not even.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk was amazing.
Yeah, I gotta say that was a really good first episode.
For people that are mad, what are you mad for?
Oh, yo, the incel community continues to be lame as out here.
Oh, Tatiana's fine though.
Yeah, but not even
Cute.
just that.
And as
Listen.
She-Hulk, she's super cute.
Yeah.
I love
And has straight hair.
end credit
Oh, funny.
scene. That was hilarious.
Also, shout outs to the folks over at Watch Mojo. I was in their live stream last week on Friday. Not in it, but like in the comments.
Oh,
And,
I'm gonna be like, oh, all right.
No, but they actually did invite me to come on the show because I was in the comments so much. So shout outs to them because if it does get worked out, I would love to be on it, and that would be a lot of fun. They do the live stream on their IG on Fridays.
Show them how it's done, man. School them.
Yeah. That's what one of the reasons they were just like, yeah. I mean, we have the knowledge, but you're also like deep in the nerd stuff. So, but by all means, feel free. If we can work this out, we'd love you to be on. And I was like, yeah, man. I mean, I'd be down. So.
One more half a clap for Marvel in explaining things without having to actually explaining things, but there's so much that you got to stop and rewind about 3 times to catch the explanation. Booyah!
Which one?
How does Hulk get his arm fixed? Well, you know,
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Don't tell them nothing. Just it's fixed.
Did you hear about the Russos being mad about that?
They were mad.
Why were they mad about
Because
it?
the Russos, when the Russos had their the end game,
Yeah.
in Endgame when he hurts his arm,
Yeah.
supposedly Disney promised them that his
not gonna
arm
fix
would
it.
stay that way as a representation of how powerful the Infinity Stones are.
Oh,
And
Bro,
it's
it's
the
the
Hulk.
thank you. That's the thing.
It's the
When I
Hulk.
heard that, I was just like, but then you guys aren't fans of the Hulk because you know the Hulk would heal. That's not how he
Yeah,
works.
the minute he goes back to banner form, he's healing. How you gonna keep him?
Yeah.
He didn't stay as Smart Hulk that long in the comics. What do you?
He
Anyway.
has healing factor. That's one of
He
the
does.
things why
He's-
him and Wolverine always have great fights is that they
Yeah.
both actually heal from the battles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
thought it was kind of lame that
His
they were-
his is weak enough so that Wolverine's is stronger than his, so that they could actually
Yeah.
fight.
Let me rephrase though. I don't know that the Russos are mad.
Mm.
I should rephrase. I heard that the Russos. I heard that the promise was broken because, like Skinny was just saying, within the first 5 minutes they explain the arm away and it's just done. I would also like to point out that Loki, if anyone wants to be mad about how unimportant the stones seem, talk to Loki, where they
Yeah.
have them in the drawer as paperweights, and they
Yeah.
essentially toss that shit out the window, and they're like, this is as important as it is now.
So, I like this origin better.
Yeah, I was. You know what? I was gonna be annoyed, but then I watched it as well. It was really well done. So
I do wish it was more of a real blood. I wish he had to do a real blood transfusion, because like the only thing I'm not a fan of is like it's just a drop of his blood.
No,
That,
but
like-
then just a drop of his blood would have done that, because look what happened to Leader.
Yeah. What happened to Leader? We don't know.
Well, he's
no,
still
but I
there.
mean,
What
when
do
you see it
do
in the
know?
movie,
Yeah,
when you see it in the movie, that Leader gets all messed up.
Yeah,
from,
but like
multiple, like a lot of it. So
from
that's a good
droplets
point.
on skin. So
Yeah.
if you're cut and it
you know, it was
touches your
droplets in
blood-
his ear.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
But all I'm saying is, even with that though, you never really saw it. But the only reason why I don't mind it as much is because the fact that she got a bit of direct blood contact, and she's able to remain herself as the
Right.
She-Hulk. I was like, you made it, lack of a better term, weak enough of a transmission that the tropes that you're doing to make it so that she could be who she is,
Mhm.
it works. So I'm like, it's a good explanation. You know?
Okay.
And they would have had to use a whole episode to explain an accident that major
Exactly.
to have her
Yeah.
need a blood
Exactly.
transfusion. Like the ship would have had to like blow up the car.
Yeah.
And-
I gotta say, a lot of people who are online are being like, they nerfed the Hulk, they did this, they did that. I'm like, I don't understand what you guys are talking
Oh,
about.
they nerfed the
First of
Hulk.
all,
They never nerfed the Hulk.
They never nerfed the
fuses
Hulk.
He never uses his full
guys,
force.
have you guys not seen the meme where it's Bruce turning around and punching the Shakar ship that was coming down? Remember the big ship?
Yeah, the
He,
big
like,
worm
ultimately
ship. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm always
He
mad.
punches it, and so people were showing that combined with him fighting the Jeep and getting thrown. And they're like, look how they nerfed the Hulk, and it's like, guys,
He's not gonna get mad over a Jeep.
And he's not going
Or
to
his
kill
cousin.
his. Yeah, he's
Or
not
his
going to
cousin.
kill his cousin. He's not going to go like that on the Jeep. It's going to fucking just. That's
Can we have a fight in Incel Day? Can we just
honestly,
That should
I
be,
really
that
just
should
want to
be
throw
on
hands
your
with an
dumbest
Incel.
timeline. That's what I'm going to say right now.
yeah, you want to do an episode incels in the dumbest timeline? Yo, we're down, man.
Let's go, because these guys think of the craziest and not
Most
actual things that
whack
are
ass
things.
shit.
Like,
Yeah.
I could not understand living with a brain pattern that is that jubbly. Like, that don't make sense.
How can you exist? How can you ever achieve
How do you do
happiness?
regular
How can-
things? Like, do these things affect your everyday? These
Yeah,
are the
yeah,
type of
yeah.
niggas that can't wear pink because they feel like their brain's gonna melt.
yeah.
Ah,
Honestly, though, like I gotta say, watching She-Hulk, everything that they were complaining about, I was just
Love.
like, oh, these are all the reasons I actually liked the episode. Like,
yeah.
I feel like they took their time. Like, people are like, oh, they really they fast tracked her origin. Yes, thank
Good.
you.
We don't need.
Exactly.
You just
I'm
had Miss
super good with
Marvel,
that.
who took 6 episodes. It's fine.
Exactly.
It's all different.
I'm good with a 6-episode introduction. She might be a mutant too. Hey, she's green and there's Daredevil in it. Let's go.
Bong.
I'm super good.
Yeah.
Bong.
Super good.
Like
I don't
that's.
need.
I
this-
hope. Did they ever confirm if Daredevil's going to be on the show?
Yeah.
He's in
the
it.
trailer.
I can't.
And then
wait
he gets
for that.
19 sweet, sassy, beautiful
Oh,
episodes to himself.
Where
Crazy.
Punisher, everyone
Jessica
but
Jones,
Iron Fist.
everyone but Iron Fist. Because they're gonna recast him. Yeah, it's
Is it
official.
official?
All three of them.
Okay.
All three of them. Except for
yeah.
him.
It makes me so happy.
Well, because he's not
Fuck
Iron
you,
Fist
Iron-
anymore.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. You know
not
what?
Iron
Here,
Yeah,
Fist
but I'm
I
talking
hope
about
they
you
bring
gotta get Danny
Colleen.
Rand back.
I hope they bring Colleen then.
You don't need to bring Danny Rand back if he's
No,
not
bring
actually
Colleen.
Iron Fist.
Cast.
No,
Reca-
don't
no,
even recast.
You don't need to.
Bring Colleen.
He's not Iron Fist in the comics right now. You
Yeah.
don't need a Danny Rand.
He's not even that.
Nope.
So
They
what's he-
made it like an Asian person.
What's he in the comic books?
He's just
Rich?
Well, that's
like he's always been.
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
a
I
rich
think in
martial
actually
artist.
there's a recent comic where the Kingpin has outlawed superheroes in New York and he's mayor. And like at some point, Luke Cage is like, yo, Danny, like get out of your apartment. Like they're coming for you. You need to move. And they were too far and they just left him. Because like, what could they do?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So no more Danny Rand.
Yeah.
She-Hulk's good. When
really
she
good.
broke the third wall, everyone, well, I mean,
Fourth
she's
wall,
been
yeah.
doing that before Deadpool, but when she did it, and he's like, oh, if you want to go back to LA, I respect that. And she's like, he didn't mean that. And
Yeah,
then
that
when
was
she looked again, I feel like that was her discovering that she could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you think?
Well, because it's just the look that she gives when she's like, and then he looks back at her and she's all like, huh? And like the look she gives the camera, like, oh, he heard me, but he heard me do what
else heard
exactly?
me? Yeah.
What did I
Yeah.
do? That's
Yeah.
kind of, and I don't know.
The only thing
Adorable.
I'm because I really like the episode, but one thing about the dismount for me
Which
Just
of
dismount.
the episode, like the end of the episode as well. I
Okay.
was trying to say a fancy way of saying it.
Oh, that's fair.
I was there. I'm like, it. I just hope that the next episodes aren't legit Ally McBeal being the Hulk. Like, you know
No,
what
but
I
No,
mean?
that's what it is, dude.
It's Ally McBeal being Hulk. It's
No, but
all
this
the
one-
quirkiness
so far,
and greatness of Ally McBeal, but we
this
might
so
get a
far
dancing baby.
wasn't that so far. At least what I with
Yeah,
what
but
I-
you it's not that because you had to do an origin story.
Yeah.
Ally McBeal didn't have superheroes in it, so you're not
Well, you know
getting
what she said? She said lawyer show. Like
Yeah.
she legit looked at the camera and said lawyer show.
Yeah. This is not going to be superheroes, man. It's going to be
Yeah.
like them inside an office, her preparing cases, all that stuff, but
And then
combined
nighttime,
with
yeah.
the fact,
Yeah.
combined with the fact that, oh, by the way, I happen to be a super powerful, like, dude. One of the articles that I saw recently said, the writers were bragging about how horny Ford the show is going to be, and I was just like, yeah, this is going to be like Ally McBeal. Unisex bathrooms, all the things that it did before, they're going to try and
Yeah.
mimic.
We're gonna do that shit. It's gonna be great.
Funny enough, they're trying to bring back Ally McBeal. Well,
Imagine
not
if-
trying. They are bringing it back. I don't know. why.
Imagine if they get that girl who plays Ally McBeal to do a guest spot on this show.
Calissa Flockhart. She just
yeah.
did. She was on Supergirl. She can still do
Exactly. Yeah, she'd be down. I don't
Yeah,
think
she'd be
she's
super down.
opposed to stuff like that.
it. Is she still with HomeAway?
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Still?
Yeah.
Damn, that lasted. Holy shit.
I know, right?
Wow.
I feel if you lasted that long,
no, but when they got together, that didn't make sense. You're like, nigga, what are you doing? That was like the first like outlandish. He's really old couple that I remember. Him and Catherine Zeta-Jones and homie.
Yeah.
Oh my.
That was way
that didn't. No, you remember those couples that did like? Okay, so this is for the money. This is an agreement, right?
Well, that's for
Catherine
Zeta. I believe that more for Zeta than that's the jaw dropper in my opinion compared to
made no sense.
Flockhart.
Then I saw Disclosure and I was like, all right, maybe.
Saw Disclosure.
Disclosure is a hardcore movie, man. Michael Douglas.
Just a heads up that this is breaking. Also, I'm like keeping an eye on stories that are going on while we're doing the show. This is more for the American listeners, but the Hulu shows. Sorry, let me rephrase. NBC and Bravo next day episode deals that are currently with Hulu are going to be moving to Peacock.
What?
Right. So like Brooklyn Nine-Nine season 1 through 8, The Real Housewives, all these shows are leaving Hulu and they're going to be moving over to Peacock. And then on top of that, any NBC show.
Yeah.
You know how on Hulu right now, a lot of the shows, ABC, NBC, CBS, almost all of them were doing the next day available on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of them were invested originally in it. Comcast Universal was invested in Hulu. CBS and ABC were all partially invested. But now the only one that owns it is the House of Mouse. So why would you give the House of Mouse more content? So they're pulling their shows and they're only going to be available on Peacock now. So hold on. The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, The Late Night with Seth Meyers, Saturday Night Live, returning hits such as La Brea, New Amsterdam, Young Rock are all going to be moved. Oh, Peacock will be the go-to streaming destination for also Law and Order, The Trifecta, and One Chicago, and the iconic late night lineup. Yeah, which is the other part. Yeah, man.
Weird.
It's happening. The streaming wars are making everything more expensive. You all got.
They always were.
Yeah, man. I got to cancel some stuff. Shit's getting crazy. I just canceled Stack TV, and I don't know why I was paying for Stack TV when I had to have them channels. But then I was like, wait a minute, I don't have Cartoon Network, and then there's Rick and Morty on here. Maybe I'll actually watch the show. And I'm like, no, fuck that show.
Yeah.
I ain't watching that incel show, even though it's not an incel show, but I mean, it's like their Bible.
Yeah.
Hear that, Dave? You hear that? Morty.
I got
Bible.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It used to be South Park.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot to talk about this. I feel like we have to talk about this. I don't know if you guys had a chance to listen to it. Did you guys hear the Danger Mouse Black Thought album? Cheat Codes?
What? Yeah, because I got tired of hip hop. No, when did this came? What?
August 12th.
Album?
August 12th. Black Thought and Danger Mouse dropped the best hip hop album of the year.
Easy, very easy. Whoa.
Nope.
That's a lot.
Kendrick, I'm sorry. You're second.
I didn't even finish Kendrick's album, so I'm not even talking about that.
Who do you want to... Homie, I'm telling you, when you listen to this album, they wipe the floor with all of them. I'm telling you. This album is insane. Insane. And I like that they called it Cheat Codes because we've always said it. Some of these beats, some of these producers just know the cheat codes. And then you just slap Black Thought on top of those beats, and it's just like, wow, who the fuck are you gonna? What are you gonna do?
Okay, all right. I'll check this out.
Sounds like they're taking shots at Mega Ran with this nerd rap shit.
Nah, man, it's just nerdcore is probably coming to a mainstream. Mega Ran's probably gonna have to sue some people now.
Legal issues, but yeah, honestly, if you guys haven't had a chance to check out Cheat Codes, I highly recommend checking out. It is a wildly good album.
Actually, while we're talking about Cheat Codes, shouts to friend of Black Thought and homie of mine who's a fan of Figgy Skinny stuff, Farrah Monch.
Dope. Respect.
Things are happening.
That's dope.
That's all.
I got to meet Farrah in New York, and yes, he's a nerd because we got to talk about nerd stuff for like 2 minutes at Le Poisson Rouge after a show. And that dude's chill. Yeah. That was wild.
He's a big time Fig fan and writes about Marvel Legends in articles. So,
dope.
Be on the lookout for something soon.
All right. Respect it. Yeah, I think that's it. I saw Nope.
Oh, how was it?
The Cloud, man.
It will say what?
It's a cloud.
I mean,
I was expecting some kind of like demon type, like blah, 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 like coming out of that cloud. Nothing.
It's really just a cloud.
I didn't get a tentacle. Nothing.
I mean, it's an alien that's hiding as a cloud.
But do you see the alien ever?
Yeah.
Is he like humanoid or scary or monstrous?
No.
Which one? Even answer the question. Is he humanoid or scared of monsters? Nope.
Humanoid? Is he a humanoid or a monster?
Nope.
That's what
That's it. Neither.
There you go. See,
what type of
just gonna
That's
say
why
no.
I said no. That's why I said no to both, because he's not. It's not. Not even he. It's not humanoid. It's not a monster. Nope. Skinny, you understand why I'm saying that though.
You know why you're saying that, but I'm also going to look it up because I'm a
No, but all I'm asking is like, is it really?
Skinny, you didn't see it? I thought you saw the movie.
When have I ever actually seen it?
Oh my god.
No, because like, is it really a horror film?
No,
it's a horror film that in the movie I think the way they did it was actually really good. There's a cloud in the sky that someone realizes hasn't moved in days because they set up cameras, and someone notices that there's like a cloud that hasn't moved. So this is like about halfway through the film when they already know something's there, but they don't know what it is. They start to realize what, like, oh, that's where the alien is. And then, you start to get some weird, crazy stuff, and the ending's a little bizarre, but
the ending is a little weak.
Yeah.
From what I read, bro, I was just like, that's it?
I would say
I'm saying spoilers right now. Just tell me what happens.
I still don't want to tell people because I actually think people should go see it. I'll tell you after the show's done if you want, but I'm not going to say it right now to people because anyone who's watching, I would say go check out Nope. I think he's really good. I think it's entertaining. And, it's just a wild show. It's a wild movie. Jordan does. I'll say this. There's a scene where someone punches a child, and I didn't even flinch because I was just like, this makes sense. And, like, Jack's a child hard, too. I was like, hot damn.
The main actor, is he the guy from Wakanda?
He's a traitor.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Daniel Kaluuya, Kiki Palmer. Wait, why did you say he's a traitor?
I remember because he turned on him.
Because he turned on
T'Challa so quick.
I thought you were saying Daniel Kaluuya is a traitor.
No, he turned on T'Challa so quick, okay. And then Okoye had to remind him, like, listen, you idiot.
Yeah.
If you want some of this Okoye, you better get yourself back.
You want some of this Okoye.
If you want some of this Okoye. What was they just announced something. Aquaman 2 heads to Christmas 2023. Shazam Fury of the Gods to March amid Warner Brothers HBO Max release date moves.
Who cares at this point?
No, this Zaslav's just like, listen, I got cards in the deck and I'm gonna dish them out however the guy wants. Another thing, Shazam 2 will have access to IMAX screens on its new days, a premium ticket format that Disney will otherwise be sopping up this December with Avatar: The Way of Water.
What?
In addition, delivering on Warner Brothers Discovery CEO's David Zaslav's promise to give movies a theatrical window, 2 titles originally destined for HBO Max will be opening on the big screen exclusively. That's the Calamity-directed LeBron James, Maverick Carter-produced reboot of House Party, opening on December 9th this year, and the Lee Cronin-directed Evil Dead Rise, opening April 21st, 2023.
Another Evil Dead movie?
Yeah. Yo, Zaslav is really trying to get
10 years ago.
Why is Zaslav so gung-ho about trying to kill HBO Max like this?
Hard, too. Like, hard.
Yeah, like,
because he's James Gunn. Some other company hired him to go in there and fuck up his shit.
Oh, there's my trope. But I mean, it's
honestly, I was thinking that at one point, too, because I was like, some of these, like, don't get me wrong. House Party coming back, cool. I don't think I need House Party to be in theaters. And also, when you hired the cast of that, did those people know that they were making a theatrical film? Because people might do a different performance for theatrical than they do for something that's going to be on a streaming platform that people can pause and stuff. Like there's a whole different energy level when you're making movies, and I feel like Zaslav doesn't get it or he just doesn't care. But yeah, you think he doesn't care?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, this dude is just throwing things in place. He doesn't care, man. It's wild. I've never seen an executive walk into a place and be like, "Hey man, What are you doing? All right, I'm gonna destroy that. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm just gonna burn that. And then he just starts pouring gasoline and throws
You
a
know what
match
he
at you.
is?
Walks over to another table, pours some gasoline, throws a match on the table.
It's not even that. You know, there was that kid who used to not get played with at school, so he would like walk around at the lunch break or whatever, and like
I don't know that he had no friends.
Step on.
I'm
No,
not
but I'm saying like
Zaslav had no friends.
no, I'm not saying that, but he's acting like as that kid who's just jealous of everyone else for having fun, so he decides to ruin things. Like that kid who like, oh, I have this soup that I really like, so he decides to spit in it.
That's true.
Oh
no,
we're playing with our marbles. Oh, let me just kick them down the hallway.
Yeah, see,
like,
that's a better example. Hey, yo, I'm gonna say this right now. I don't know what school you went to, Dave, but if I'm ever somewhere and someone spat in my food, they're getting knocked out.
That's no, but I'm saying like I'm talking about like kids. I'm talking about like 5-6-year-old kids. Don't wrong. I bet a kid would still throw a punch for that. But I'm saying like he's like
what a crazy example you gave. Where you're like, yeah, he spits in people's food. It's like that's nuts. That is.
Am I wrong though, Brian? Because if he spits in your food, are you gonna eat it? Are you gonna finish the movie or not?
That's crazy. That is a crazy example. Skinny, when you dipped for a second, this weirdo decided the best example you could give is Zaslav spits in people's food. Why is that where he went? Who knows?
Am I wrong?
I don't think it's spitting in people's food.
I don't think that's what he's doing.
Speaking the marbles, when people are playing marbles, or like, you know what it is? It's that kid who takes the basketball and throws it over the fence. Kid. That's the best example. There's one kid who takes the basketball and throw it over the fence.
No, but like the kid who loses, not even like a real game, who loses in like 21 and just takes it and goes like,
kicks,
He's playing horse or whatever, and he can't recreate what the person did, so he just launches it.
Nah, the kid who plays soccer, baseball, and decides to just boot the ball. Go get it. Yeah, that kid. Actually, that's the kid he is. Zaslav's the kid who kicks a shit halfway across the field when the recess bell just finished ringing.
Right.
And your ass got to go get it and then be late for class. And he knows he did that shit.
Fucking hell.
Zaslav.
Boys, that's pretty much everything we had on the list. I was actually going to talk a little bit about Just for Laughs because the last time I was on the show was the last episode I missed was because I was going to a Just for Laughs show, and then I had a ridiculous week where I met Sam J, I met Chris Red, I met Langston.
Sam J is my favorite.
Yo, Sam J kills it.
And I just saw her on Decency and Mirror, RIP, and then here she is hanging out with you, and I'm gonna say, damn, Brian. Like, look.
He gave me a shout out at the end of the show.
She gave you a ticket to the show that you got scammed by Just for Laughs for. We will get to that.
She gave me a ticket. She got me on the list. Then at the end of the show, she said, "Where my nigga Brian at?" And I was just like, I was sitting there and I was like, "Oh, does she know another Brian?" She's like, "Holiday." And she said my name, and I was like, "Oh shit, she's talking about me." I raised my hand. She's like, "Yeah, this is my nigga. He couldn't get in, but I hooked it up. I'm happy you came through." And, I'm like, no, I'm like yelling in the crowd, like, "Thank you. This is so cool." She's just like, "No, thank you for coming. Thank everybody for coming." I was just like, this is so wild.
And then you got the contact, and then you're like, "Yo, jump on the pod."
I know. I tried.
You didn't get the contact.
You think Sam J's out here giving out the digits? No.
She's out here giving you tickets and shout outs, G. What do you mean?
What the fuck are you talking about? Getting me on guest list, Skinny. You've been at shows. Getting someone on guest list don't cost shit.
It's just about getting here to follow you on Twitter, my G. Actually, no. At that point, yeah, true.
Yes,
exactly. Because if you guys communicated with each other on some like, "Hey, thanks again for hooking me up," and like I don't, no. They really got to do that out of their own
Chris Red's girlfriend is one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Yeah, it's a reach. I know, Dave. It's a reach. And she might be. I saw you reaching. You said,
but yeah, man, there's more stuff. I'm actually going to be going to Toronto and hitting up that Just for Laughs too for a couple days.
No, they got their own version of our shit.
Yeah, and one of my buddies works there, so nice. I'm gonna try and hit up a few shows there.
Try to see Sam J again. Try to be like, "Hey."
No, Sam J's not there this time, but I am actually looking forward to seeing Melissa Villasenor because I actually think she's one of the best on SNL.
Don't know who that is, but if you happen to miraculously have a conversation and meet up with this person, you know what to do.
Oh, homie, it's not for lack of trying.
Oh, I know you're not trying, bro. Listen, I don't forget what you did with Homeboy off of what was that show? that was on no, not HBO. Yeah, it was on HBO, and it was about the strip before, like, when porn and all that stuff hit, and the guy was in the show. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh no, I'm
Oh,
drawing.
it's gonna bother me. Oh, what was the name of that
But,
show?
for example, Nicole Byers.
Yep.
I introduced her to my best friend because my best friend is in love with her.
How do
And
you?
ask-
Anyways, no.
Yeah, dude, honestly, Just for Laughs is one of those situations, especially if you're from Montreal, you know where people are going to be. So after the show, I knew where the backstage was. So I knew where they exited from. So at the end of the show, we waited 20 minutes and then we just went to say hi. My friend took a picture with Nicole, had a fun time. We talked to Moses Storm, who's on the show with Phoebe on Freeform, the new one, Everything is Trash. I met them. Like, yeah, man. It's
From
just
now
cool.
on, if I ever go out to a concert or whatever, I'm just bringing Brian.
Oh, dude. One of my friends is because of how good I am at knowing like how to meet people. One of my friends is actively trying to get me to come with her to a Harry Styles concert because she wants to meet Harry Styles. And I'm like, girl, I'm not coming with you to Harry Styles.
Listen,
She's like, but you're so good at this. I'm like, even if I am good at this, I would not try and meet Harry Styles. I have no interest in meeting.
Quickly before we go,
yeah.
Where did the Harry Styles come the fuck from? Was he in a group called One Direction or one other group? I don't know what group.
He was in One Direction, and now people are calling him the King of Pop. Y'all need to calm the fuck down.
Why? Secondly, why do y'all disrespect us so much? Why is everyone so quick to get anyone that is dark or of color in a reign of king or not the fuck out of here so quickly? Harry Styles, he came out with one tune. It's a big tune, but it's one tune.
I mean, the Harry Styles stands will go crazy that you said that, but let's just say
one tune.
There's
the one that I'm hearing on the radio all the time is the only one that I'm singing.
Even if he had 100, he's not touching Michael or Prince. He's not touching Michael or Prince. That's it. That's all it is.
Saying. It's a big tune. You got a good one, Harry, but you got to give me something else. Just give me something. Give me a couple other things. Bruno ain't there yet. You're not there yet.
How about you just go home?
No, I like Harry. I don't mind him.
Harry's fine. Yeah. It's just he's not the king of pop. They need to calm down. But that's
your little 80s song. Yeah, I've heard that. It's cool. You know, Carl Wolf wants his swag back. He's been doing 80s shit since like 2010 or 9. You know, all y'all stealing not 80s swag. I see you.
Shout out to all the. I've seen a whole bunch of local comedians recently at comedy shows too. So shout out to all the people. Shout out to Miriam, Elspeth, Eva. Shout out to Akeem Grams out there.
Random.
Charles. So yeah, we're out, y'all. That's the whole show. We'll be back next week. Peace.
Peace.